Hey guys, how's it going? So it was about 3 weeks ago when I released a video showing the concept of my list stop positioner. And you guys gave me a ton of great feedback, and I'm excited to show you guys in this video what I ended up coming up with for a final product. Before I get started, I just want to show you guys real quick what these lift stops are used for. They're basically just a positioner for a crosscut set like this, but they could also be used on like a fence on a drill press or a fence on a router table. The idea is to get repeatable cuts. So there's a cursor here. Say if you want something at 6 inches, line it up at the 6 mark, cut your workpiece. So that gives you two of the exact same, but the nice thing is you can lift it up out of the way if you have to cut something longer, and then of course flip it right back down to get that exact measurement again. So that's the idea behind it. It's pretty simple. All right, so the first thing that we went over was material. I gave you 3 options: the stainless, aluminum, and brass. Not one person mentioned brass, so I'll take that right off the list. Aluminum, stainless, it was actually surprisingly close, 50-50, but one comment in particular stood out to me, and that is stainless could be a safety issue, because if you ever did run into it with your table saw, you could get a piece of carbide coming back at you. It's just a safety risk. I wasn't willing to risk that, so I went with aluminum. But to make sure it was nice and stiff, I ended up upping the thickness to 3/8. So this is the quarter one. This is the one I showed you guys. Went to 3/8. And of course, this arm isn't getting built in my shop. I'm getting it water jetted out, and they do a really nice job, and it's done locally right here in New Brunswick. So really happy with the way it turned out. A ton of people said anodized or powder coated. There's no one local that I could get it anodized, but there was powder coating, so that's what I went with. This is called bronze chrome powder coating. It looks awesome. I love it. Really nice, shiny, durable finish. And the engraving, which turned out pretty good. Before, it was kind of like a filled in engrave. Now it's the outline engraved. So really happy on how the arm looks. A lot of people asked for a hairline cursor. I had a hard time incorporating that. So what I ended up doing is just adding this right here with a locking set screw in the back, so that you can sight straight down at your scale. There's enough room on the top of your fence for a 1/2 inch scale, and it works pretty good. I've been playing around with it. I can get very accurate, repeatable results by just sighting down the flat head screw. So there was that. The barrel itself has not changed at all from the original design. Really happy with that. The brass nut, I lost a brass nut. So many people said it wasn't necessary. So I went out and got a nylon nut and tried it, and they were right. Like, the locking nut is just not necessary. You get a nice snug fit. There's no play there, so you don't need to lock it. Keeps the cost down as well. 2 black oxide washers, so that matches, or a nice tight fitting washer. You get a good quality star knob and a T-nut for your 5/16 T-track. And like I was saying before, because this is round, it stays nice and parallel in your T-track. And one more thing I forgot to mention, a great suggestion from a commenter was to add a bushing here, which I did because I like the idea of if you do see any wear here at all, that it'll be just a bushing worth a couple bucks to replace instead of the whole arm. And the other thing I wanted to mention was the skeleton version. I did get them to cut one of these out, and I think it does look pretty cool. The problem was the expense. It added like nearly 50% more to the cut time, so I opted for the solid, which I think looks great anyways. All right, guys, so if you do want to purchase one of these things, I'll put the links in the description below. But keep in mind, inventory is obviously going to be quite limited where I am just building these in the shop. So if you go to the website and you see that I'm out of stock, do me a favor and just put your email address in the wait list. And there's no obligation there or anything. That just gives me a rough idea on how many to build for the next batch. Now, you know, I am super proud of these, and I hope you like them as much as I do. But if you do decide to purchase one, I just want you to know that you are supporting the Shopbuilt YouTube channel, and I greatly appreciate that. I'm Ryan Nodwell. Thanks for watching.